Hello everyone, I'm Martinez and it's my birth month. So in the description of all of my videos, leading up to my birthday and on my birthday, I'll have my Amazon wish list in the description. If you want to get anything, I appreciate it. If you want to send me friend mail and you don't have my address already, you can send me a message on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I hope you enjoy the video. Good morning, everyone. I'm Martinez. My name is Itzell. It's Famous Fridays. We're chatting my favorite shows. So it's episode 8, and yay, it's my birth month. So let's ask Siri to pick a number. Siri, pick a number between 1 and 36.
The answer is 22.
We've done 22. Siri, pick a number between 1 and 36.
That would be 12.
Yay, we have not done 12 yet. So 12 is switched at birth. So hold on one second. I am crossing this off my list so I don't accidentally do it twice. All right. So if you don't know, switched at birth is it takes place in Kansas City, which is in Missouri. I didn't know that. I was watching this show for the longest time. So it revolves around two girls, Bay Kenish and Daphne Vasquez. So Bay looks kind of like me. Her hair is curly, her complexion is a lot like mine, and her hair is dark like mine. And she doesn't look like her family. Her mom is a ginger. Her brother looks like a ginger towards the beginning, then he goes blonde later on. And her dad has brown hair, and it's just like she brought up to her mom, if I asked you to do something, even if you thought it was crazy, would you do it? And she wanted to take a DNA test because in school she did the DNA test, and it said that her blood type was a B, and her dad's like, there's no way you can be a B. You have to be A or O because of my blood type and your mom's. So they did the DNA test because she was concerned with the results, from the school test, and just wanted, confirmation that it was a mistake or something. Because like a lot of people would ask her all the time if she's adopted because she doesn't look like she comes from her family, and her family has one Italian like in their lineage, so that's why they thought that she got a lot of her features were from her Italian side. So they did the test and it came back that she wasn't their kid. So they looked for the other child that was switched, and um that's how it became switched at birth. And we follow both families trying to navigate the situation and try to learn how to co-parent each other's children and live together. And now these two girls, they didn't know about each other. Now they have to be sisters and just navigating what that's gonna look like. And it was rough at first. It was really rough trying to combine personalities and set boundaries, trying not to get the person to overstep and a lot of it. But, they came together and it all worked out really, really well. So let's get into the questions. I hope that was a good enough description. It's one of my favorite drama shows. And I forgot to mention Daphne is completely deaf. So, yeah, not just navigating all that, but her family having to learn a completely new language to communicate with her. Uh, it was hard for them at first, but they came around and yeah, like it's amazing, you do anything for your family. What what I like about the show. Mm, let's see. Well, I like, that they included sign language, that they included many deaf actors, regardless of if they were born deaf, if, they became deaf later on. And I like that one of the deaf players was a drummer. And apparently the actor is really a drummer, so he hadn't played drums in a few years, but he got to play drums again. I'm like, it's so cool to look at life differently, look at things that people can do differently. Because a lot of people were skeptical, like, you're deaf, how can you be a drummer? You can't hear it. And then, like, Daphne was like, sound is vibration, we feel it. And I was like, that's cool to be able to feel the music, and that way it's like it sounds amazing. And it's just like how your body just compensates for yourself, and how you can still do things that people think you'd never be able to do. I love that aspect. I love that they include photography, include art in the show. Um, I like seeing the struggles that not just the children go through, but that the parents go through, just trying to juggle it all and not really knowing what you're doing. And it just felt so real. Like, if anybody else was going through this, it would be like similar. And showing that, people make mistakes and people deserve forgiveness. And yeah, and also so many never giving up and just striving for their goals. I love that. Favorite characters? All right, let's see. Um, what is his name? Don't tell me I know. Angelo. Angelo is Faye's biological father, and he walked out. I know how to that. He walked out on Regina and Daphne. Now, because she was a little ginger girl, and Regina had really tan skin, dark brown hair, brown eyes. Her dad looked like my complexion, my hair color, my eye color, really dark. And it's just like, it didn't make sense. How could she come from us? So he was convinced. He was convinced that she wasn't his. So he did a DNA test without consulting Regina, and it came back negative, and he assumed that she did, but she swore that she didn't. So they got in a fight, they split up, and this was like around the time where Daphne was losing her hearing. She got meningitis, and then it was up in the air if she was gonna be deaf or not. And they were convinced that that's why he left, but it was more than that. Like, it was just feeling like, his significant other wasn't faithful. And nobody thinks when a DNA test comes back, that you're not the parent, nobody thinks switched at birth. It's not a logical thought. But since it came back negative for him, she's like, there's no way. So she got her tested. Regina got her tested, and it came back that she wasn't their child. Like, she wasn't Regina's either. And at this point, Regina was an alcoholic. So she didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell the parents. She didn't tell Angelo. She got clean and lived her life. And when Angelo came back in the picture, it was because the girl's story was in the newspapers and it reached him. And that's when he decided to come back. And he didn't come back in the most great way. He didn't come back and ask Regina or ask the parents, if he could see his daughter. He saw her first. And it's just like, being in that situation, I don't know which way I would have gone, but it is hard, to deal with adults. And it's like, you just want to see your child. So my heart went out to him, and he tried so hard with all of them to show them, that he's trying to do better. He's trying to be better, and he just wants his family back. So I like that. I like that he's sorry he made mistakes and he wants to make it right as best as he can. So that's why I like him a lot. And he's very charismatic and just like a really fun character. I was so sad. Spoiler alert. You know how he left the show. I was so sad with that. It was a lot. Okay, and we're still on favorite characters. Hmm. Catherine Kenish, who is Faye's mom and Daphne's biological mom. So she's so sweet and so caring and has a big heart and very talented. She becomes a writer later on. She just loves her family and wants to do what she can to help her family. And I love that. I love how loving she is and just like a mother sacrifices so much of herself for her family, and like she has her moment when she's like, you know what? I need to take me back. I need to do more for me and stop doing everything for everything else. Like it gets to a certain point where it's just like you'll always be my child, but you need to take care of yourself too. Like I can't do everything for you, not anymore. So I like that. I like that she took her power back. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't have to be running errands for your 20 something year old kid if you don't want to. Like, that's reality. Maybe he wasn't 20 yet. Maybe he was like 19 or something. But, you get it. I think he was already out of the home and she was still doing chores for him. Like, she shouldn't have to do your own errands. um, yeah. So, other favorite characters. Let's see. Travis. Now, I didn't know how I was going to feel about Travis at first because he came off really rude when he first showed up. He came so rude. But it turns out he had a really bad home life. His family wasn't supportive. His family refused to learn his language, so he couldn't even communicate with them. So, yeah, like having a home that's not supportive had to be really rough. And as the show went on, he he actually let it be known to one of the characters that he was abused as a child, so that also explains so much, and it's very heartbreaking. So yeah, spoiler alert. But he came out of it really well, seemed to handle things really well, and very talented kid, and great, goes on to be a great man and very loving and supportive and just always there for his friends. And I like that a lot about him. See, I feel like there was somebody else on my mind. I know there is. Who is it? Oh, I remember. Ty. Tyler Mendoza. He was Regina and Daphne's neighbor. He became Bay's first boyfriend, or first serious boyfriend, I guess. Um, and he was very kind and caring, but he obviously came from a different world than Bay, and it was hard for them to like navigate do's and don'ts and what it's like dating from two different worlds. So that was interesting. He joined the military. He was just always kind and caring, and I like that about him. I like that, he always tried to put Bay's feelings before his own. He always, even though he didn't always do it in the right way, like just being straightforward, he kind of beat around the bush. I like, that he cared a lot about her, and the last thing he wanted to do was hurt her feelings. So I really like that about him, how caring and thoughtful he was. I just wish he would have been upfront about things. That's my one wish. Um, yeah, I think that'll be it for favorite characters because we're gonna be on and on forever. Least favorite characters. Do I have any least favorite characters? Probably John Kennish. Um, there's nothing really wrong with him. It's just he's Bay and Daphne's dad, Daphne's biological father. He's just really rough around the edges and what do you call it? He is very set in his decisions and what he wants to do, and he doesn't really want to discuss it. It's just like, this is what I'm gonna do because I want to do it, and that was hard for me. It was really hard for me, um, because he basically admitted, throughout the show, or at least one point really clearly, that if Regina had done things differently, he would have taken Daphne away and they too without a second thought. No consideration in that moment. I think it's justified. She's an alcoholic, and it's hard to believe addicts can change. It really is. So I get that in the sense you want to protect your kids, but he just in the episode where things were reversed and she did let them know, he never gave her a chance, and that was hard. And I think her hiding the switch was enough to, have her daughter and her other daughter in her life. And I think they both benefit from it. So I just don't like how it was always like my way or the highway with so much. So it's like there was always some kind of friction with somebody until, he was more open minded. He eventually became more open minded, but it took a while. So, yeah. And there's so many people like that. And a lot of people try to say I'm like that. I hope I'm not. Um, it's like I have my very opinionated views on things, and it's just like it depends what it is. Like if you want me to switch my kid's school to public, I'm not gonna do it. There's nothing you can say or do that's gonna convince me, other than there might be better resources for one of my kids in there, and then maybe one will be switched. But other than that, you know, it's they care so much about the children, and I would like them to stay there, and they're doing well academically, so it's not like it's too advanced. So I don't see a reason to pull them. Not a good one. Um, let's see what else. Least favorite characters. Who else do I dislike in the show? Mm, um, I can't remember his name at the moment. Um, when I look it up, I'll put it up here. Um, but the British guy that Daphne dated, I didn't like him, and it bothers me that I can't remember his name right now. Um, yeah, I don't know why. Just something about like his like stuck up snooty attitude, and I didn't like that. I didn't like just the overconfidence, constantly no humbleness, or how do you say that, coming out of him at all. So very arrogant. I didn't like that. And Nacho, I can't remember his last name. Oh, Rivera, Nacho Rivera. He was a really bad guy that Daphne dated. She was in her bad boy phase. Um, he was just a horrible person. I get wanting your community to stay your community, not wanting other people to come into it, but vandalizing and doing all kinds of bad stuff, like, no, that's not okay. So, yeah. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, Chef Jeff, who Daphne dated as well. I don't care. Dating a 17-year-old, I think she was 17 at the time, 17-year-old girl when you're 26 is disgusting. Yep, that's nasty. Don't do that. That's gross. So, yeah, I did not like him at all. He was rude. He was dating a child. Mm-mm, did not like him. Why did I dislike the show? I disliked that John was like so against, everybody else for the most part until like, saw reason. And it's just like, why can't you just get along with people? I don't know. And Angelo, I didn't like how bad of a rap that Angelo got. Um, yeah, I didn't. And I didn't mention him before, but Emmett was Bay's long-term boyfriend. I didn't like how he kind of blew up his life and then got mad that his ex got with essentially his best friend, like his brother. It's just like you can't decide who she ends up with. You really can't. And you can't tell them they cannot date each other if they're happy. Like, I know bro code and all that, but it's like you can't control what other people do. You shouldn't try to manipulate them either. Like, it's not okay. You decided you didn't want her anymore, and somebody else decided that they did, and that's okay. Yeah. Why would I recommend the show? It's a really good drama show. It's a really good family show. It has so many good aspects, the art, and they have music and sign language, and just seeing people's minds open up to a brand new world and see things differently, think about things differently. It's really good, and I hope you check it out. I believe it's on Hulu. Yes, it's on Hulu if you want somewhere to watch. If you don't have Hulu and you have Disney Plus, a lot of Hulu shows are on Disney Plus now, so you can watch it. But I think all the shows that they acquired from Hulu have ads, so that's the downfall. If you have Disney Plus and not Hulu, but if you really want to watch it, then you watch the commercials. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.